Mic check.
Let me see.
Do you guys want like water or anything before we start?
I'm fine.
I'll drink water.
He just drank 73 grams of sugar.
I love sugar.
We have
Obviously,
kombucha, we have cold brew.
Everybody I talked to, so I started working with this company, Steady on the
Stay close on it.
Happy
Do you want me to do the same thing?
Yeah, you sound good. Let me hear you again.
Happy birthday, happy birthday. It's good.
Give me a little more.
ABC 123 Pepcone Steakhouse.
You're good. You're good. You're good. Okay, ready to go. Here we go. We are recording right now. Welcome to the Hunter McIntyre show.
Yeah.
Isn't it always about him when he's around?
How many times have we been on the show? It has to be upwards of 15.
You are our second, not most popular guest, but second most often used guest because you don't have anything to do.
That's
that
right.
You will actually show up in that.
Being a house husband's a man who has a lot of perks.
He is.
I have a lot of questions now.
Yeah, you should. This show's not about. We came to you, Dr. Jason Wersland, over here at Theragun, one of my probably my favorite product in the whole world. If excuse me, because Amanda's in the room, I'm going to say something horrible. But if it had a vagina on it, it would be my favorite product.
Yeah, that'd be it, right?
I would not have a wife anymore. I would just have my Theragun.
And you can just cut off the end of a flashlight and just tape it to the end of the thing, and you.
That's a good.
Wow.
That's a good idea.
You came up with that really fast.
I'm telling you right now, if
You require no thought at all.
if you give me an office in here and you let me just start selling that product that way, I guarantee I'll 5x your product.
You know, I tell a story. There's a local company that's in that industry
Yeah.
that reached out to me
Yeah.
like a few years ago. Hey, you know what? We want to use that. So you could easily go down that path.
I'm telling you, dude, just have a behind the scenes LLC that's a side project of this. I'm telling you right now, all of a sudden, all the chairs in here are plush and leather, and you guys, where are we getting all this funding from?
I have a friend from high school, grade school, high school, everything. Run into him when I'm in Scottsdale, and he says, I said, what have you been doing, Al? And he said, I was in the furniture business, and I made this yoga chair, and apparently it's really good to have sex on. And the next thing you know, he goes,
Apparently, like he didn't know.
no, he had no idea, so he marketed it.
Is it a beanbag chair?
It's called the Tantric Sex Chair now, and it's so popular.
Wow.
You've seen it places, because I've walked in places, I'm like, dude, fuck on that thing. like, don't sit on that. So he said to me, he goes, do you want one? I'm like, no, I don't want, I can't put that in my living room, and people come over and they're like, oh, don't sit there. But it's, they're really expensive, and it's like, got this weird shape to it. So his videos that he has on his online, on his website, the Tantric, I think you Google Tantric Sex Chair, the videos are basically porn. It's like a porn movie with these like beautiful
instruction.
Yeah, and I said, so what do? You design this, you run the company. He's like, I shoot the videos. And I'm like, you're a porn director. That's what you become. But you look at it and you know right away. You're like, you know what I would do with that chair?
Really?
Yeah.
Could you just explain the shape of this thing? Because I'm
So
lost.
it's
Is it just like one of those foam triangle things?
Google Tantric Sex Chair.
No, I know what you're talking about.
No,
It's not
Because
one
you
of
see
those.
the advertisements for those in every like men's fitness magazine. You get to see there's just like a foam triangle, and they just bend people in weird places.
It's like a.
Does it look like this chair?
No, it looks like it's got like a kind of like a whale, like the humpback of a whale.
Oh yeah.
And so you would lie on the back of it, and you'd be like, oh, I can put my feet up on
Just
it.
like charades we're doing right now.
Yeah, just Google it and you'll see.
Tantric
Everyone
sex
who's
chair.
listening is Googling it right now.
Why tantric?
I don't know, but he's very into yoga and very.
Maybe that's like a yoga.
I think so. I try to joke about it and make it total porn, and he's like all about the art.
He's
of it.
upsetting you.
Yeah. It's like,
Oh wow, this thing's super nice.
He's
What
upset.
are you talking about, dude? I would love that chair in my living room.
all right, I will talk to Alfred about.
Oh wow.
And I try to, when people would come over, I try to coax them to sit on it all the time. I'm like, go sit on that nice chair over there, and then I would send.
Oh, it
I
takes
would
you
send
right
them
to
to
Amazon.
Does it really?
Yeah,
How much is it?
$200.
No.
It's like $169.
I spend
ironically,
so much more money on going to IKEA for a shitty piece of furniture, and this one right now has opportunity way beyond
Yeah,
just
that's it.
regular lax and leisure.
Now, do images and you'll see
oh yeah, oh
how it's
it's
used.
just-
I'd be careful once you check out the
But
images
what-
on my phone.
yeah.
we play a game on my other podcast called What's in Your Google Search.
Ever since you told me about that, I started
That's
deleting
such a
my
great
history.
idea.
And we just ask people if we can go through their search history.
Oh, that is brilliant.
And
Well, if you went on mine just recently, now I don't want any judgment here. Every city that I
Oh, yeah,
go
no,
to,
you're clear with that.
I go to backpage.com, and do you know what Backpage is?
yes,
It is like the Craigslist for sex. Like it was like supposed to be kind of like Craigslist, but like there was a really thick body of the opportunities to meet people of the opposite sex, same sex, trans sex, whatever it is. And I just check out what people are shopping for. Like, you know, what do we got to offer in this town? And if you went through there, I go through all the libraries, like man on man, man on woman, woman on woman, trans, and you would.
We're talking about this right now, like with a
yeah,
straight face.
yeah. He's not.
Dude, we've been doing it. So a couple of years ago, I
Don't
used
say
to.
we.
No, my friends and I.
Okay.
Okay, so I used to host a travel show, and we would go to these towns, and I told my friends, I'm like, why don't we just start Googling what they got to opportunity? So I found out about Backpage, and we just were traveling around the country all the time. We just find out the weirdest stuff that you got
Little
to offer.
side note: the government shut it down.
They did shut it down in April of 2018, but they still have remnants of opportunity.
I was a little nervous you know so much about this. Like,
What are you talking about? I spent the majority of college not doing anything related to college. I just spent all my time, you know, surfing the web and finding out about cool
Hunter
things.
came from a background where all his brothers are really successful, and he just wanted to work out, and that was it.
It's
He-
paid off. Look where we're at now.
what are they doing?
They're sitting in offices, miserable, and I'm in a sweet pink shirt with these awesome shades in the greatest massage tool company in the entire world.
This
There you go.
we've got to talk about this. Your new office,
Yeah.
ridiculous.
This is not an office. This
Yeah.
is
This is like a movie studio.
Yeah.
This is what
This-
I go to I go to meetings at DreamWorks and stuff. This is like going to DreamWorks.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I'd love to hear that. I've never been there.
I would rather come here than DreamWorks.
Well, Amanda is the one that's responsible for what you're sitting on and see what you see around you. And it was literally made for this, like to have guys like you come over and sit down and shoot the shit.
Okay, so we had you on before. We talked all about the Theragun, and I think it's the greatest. You know, you have a million competitors now that are still subpar. And I have no problem saying that they're nowhere near as good. Are you just exploding that your company is so gigantic now that you're in the hottest like spot in Santa Monica? This is like it's probably going to be the most expensive real estate in Santa Monica. You've got like 80,000 square. How many square feet in this place?
I think it's 30.
30,000 square feet in Santa Monica, and she just kept taking us on the tour, going, and here's the tech department, and here's the marketing department, and here's the internet department, and you're like, is this like Microsoft? Like, how big does everybody need to get massaged now?
I have a question. Do you ever worry about giving your employees too many perks that they might stop working a little bit?
Of course. I walk in the kitchen and like it's a stocked kitchen all the time, and I'm thinking, I don't remember telling you when we're gonna feed them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember that.
My brother works at
But
this
they have like
hedge fund.
5 kinds of milk and sugar and creamers and
I give them black coffee, and I wouldn't even give them cups. They have to bring their own cups.
the little paper like sacrament cups.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
those,
The
yeah.
little ones.
Yeah.
1 ounce per serving. Get back to work.
But it's funny, I think about your business and the growth of it, and it is one of those things where you could sell one of these to everyone in the world, because everyone I use it, I love pulling it out, and you scare people when you pull it out. They're like, what are you doing to me? And then you go, just wait.
Give me a sec.
And then you do it, and they're like, where do I get this? Who?
Are you in Brookstones yet?
No way.
That's exactly where it started. I'll never forget, I would go to the mall with my family, and they would just leave us in Brookstones and sit on chairs that vibrated, and then they had that weird thing that had the 2 nodules that vibrate like this.
Yeah.
That was the first time I've ever seen anything like this.
Yeah.
Have you guys gone to any storefront?
Say that again?
Are you guys in any storefront or online?
We're starting retail. We just barely started, but we're doing more boutique retail. So it's like
example.
Jackrabbit running store.
Okay.
That's really all we're doing right now. We have some relationship with Soho House.
Soho House, like the meeting clubs?
Yeah,
What?
because they all have Soho Fit now. Yeah, I need to talk about it.
What do you mean?
every Soho house now has a
gym?
gym attached to it, so it's called Soho Fit. And if you think of the demographic of the people that go to Soho, and the time that you have to do the workouts, it's perfect because it helps you warm up, helps you cool down. You're in and out, you're done.
Yeah, I'll bet you've never even thought of that. That you can basically cut short your warm up.
I just think it's creepy that I have to touch something everybody else has been touching and I don't know who they are.
Oh, I don't give a shit.
It's like sitting in public toilets.
I don't.
Freaks me out.
I have a problem with public toilets too. And my cousin just the other night was saying, "Why would you put that paper down?" And I'm like, "Why wouldn't you?"
Yeah, that's what it's there for.
That's why you gotta hover over.
I don't have those quads.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say that's why you can deadlift however much you
No,
want.
but I don't have a problem. But I don't feel like this is on someone's. It's usually over their clothes. It's not. They're not sweaty.
Still can't trust it. When did you guys start?
When you say you guys, I'm assuming you mean the company.
The company.
It was January 2016 was when we officially started as a company. But I have to throw in this little caveat is I have actually been doing this since 2008, working on my patients, on my clients, and different people.
Did you have one of those like $5,000 like silver ones that would vibrate and had that little percussion piston?
I did have access to one of those, but I couldn't stand them. They were those. Do you know those are made for horses?
I'm sure they were. Do you remember, have you ever seen the Game Ready boot?
Yeah, of course.
First time I ever tore my ankle, they put me in one and they were like, this was originally made for horses, but since you're here, we might as well put you in it. And I was like, okay.
I'm sure that's probably not the first time you heard that.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But in reality, I think I remember that was the first time I ever experienced one of those things. It was I went into some kind of weird, muscle therapy. So yeah, some kind of therapy place, and they were telling me like how insanely expensive this thing was, and I was like, whoa. And then all of a sudden, you guys basically cut that down to 10% of the cost, and now you've made it in the mass market.
Well, the design of that one has been probably the 70s.
Yeah.
And it was majorly advanced at the time. Like I said, it started on horses, and then a chiropractor for horses, animal chiropractor. Obviously, you go to human school first, then you take classes after to learn how to treat animals. And he saw the ability to use these on animals, and he slowly started. I mean, we're all built the same. Nervous system's the same as it is with animals, so it obviously just transfers over to the human. And he never changed the end of it, like the part that actually touches the
It's
body.
just too hard.
It's steel.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's got the edges, it's round. So, and to be honest, so you guys know, I didn't know about that product when I created this. I didn't know that it existed.
How'd you create it?
Arrogant?
Yeah.
I just made something in my house one day when I got injured in a motorcycle accident.
Yeah.
So I had soft tissue damage in my body, in my neck, my arm, and I needed something to help me with the pain. And through a bunch of different experiences, I realized that vibration did that. But then I realized vibration was like, you just talked about those little cups of coffee. That's about what it was. It did something, but it didn't do the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I needed something that was stronger. So I just started, like, the pain that I was in drove the necessity to make something, and I didn't care. So I just made something in my house, used it, got myself better, put it away because I was a selfish reason. I was just trying to get myself better. I wonder if this will work on him.
Yeah.
And it did. And then from there it was like, holy crap.
Is there a specific intensity, frequency,
Yes.
and torque to these things that
Yes.
makes the difference between?
It's almost like you queued that question up.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's been thinking it for his whole.
I have a
for the
lot of
last 6
curiosities.
months. No, I was gonna say I would be starting out. I would have been like go back 10 years. I would have been terrified to put something with that intensity and that speed on me. Since I've been working out, and all the times that physical therapists and trainers and coaches are like, take this lacrosse ball and mash it in here and grind that out. And I'm like, oh, our bodies can take a lot more than I thought that they can take.
Yeah.
That is going to make me feel better. Then I'm like, oh, okay, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a little afraid of, I think I'm the only one because obviously no physical therapist in the country is afraid of it, but putting electronic muscle stimulators on me, I was just like, isn't this weird? Like our nervous system's electrical. I'm going to put on something on my body that's shooting electricity into my muscles. But yet every time I go to a physical therapist, chiropractor, they're all like, yeah, let me put this on you. And I'm
Yeah, no big deal.
boom,
Yeah.
boom. And now one of the biggest sponsors of our show is Myopucks.
Oh yeah.
So they're great.
It's a great product.
Yeah, it is a great product. It's the most compact one of all of them.
Yeah.
I think I shouldn't
I
say
don't
that.
trust it.
You really want to put that stuff on you?
No.
How come?
Because when we were younger, we used to take the dog's leash and we'd attach it to each other and push each other to the electric fence, and it would wreck us. And I'm talking about, and I think about
That's
it.
his comparison?
Well, you think about everything on a small scale. Like if you drank 1,000 beers in one day, you'd feel it really bad. If you drank 1,000 beers over 1,000 days, you wouldn't feel it as much, but it would still have somewhat of a little effect on your body. So I think about it like that.
So your brothers pulled you over the fence?
Well, it started out like that, and then as I got bigger, things turned.
We did it too. We went over the fence too. As soon as we got it for our dogs, I was like, how long till we have that on John Epstein that lives down the street and we're dragging him across?
Don't you remember licking 9-volt batteries? Don't you remember licking 9-volt batteries and it would zap your tongue?
Yeah.
Same exact
John
thing.
Epstein, when I stole from track practice one day, or maybe it was football, the surgical tubing. We used to use surgical tubing to you run with resistance. Well, like one guy holds the band and the other guy takes off. And he takes off and he's running against it, and it's making it really hard. It's like pulling a sled. Then when they turn around and run back to you, they're running at 120% of speed, which then
Without the resistance.
yeah, then their nerves learn to run like that. The myelin teaches your nerves, oh, I run at this speed if you do it enough times. So I used to take this kid John Epstein, and I would run, and then I would go, okay, you run. He would run 120%, and he looked like an airplane landing, because he would just it would pull him, and he would just skid across the ground and slide through the grass. So one day I said to him, I go, listen to me, you hold this tree. Don't you let go till I get all the way to the other end of the yard. You do not let go, or don't you dare. And I ran, and I stretched this to dental floss, and I was terrified it was going to snap, because I've seen it snap, and you'll have welts for days.
Yeah.
So I get to the other end of the tree, and I'm like grabbing a tree, and I turn around and I go, go! And I just watch him like an airplane.
Just fly straight.
like not even a step on the ground, just skid across the ground. But still, he's now 100 yards away from me, and it's still like dental floss. And I go, crawl to me slowly crawl, because I don't want it to snap, and I turn back to the tree, and then I look back, and all I see is him taking the harness off his legs.
Let's go.
To you?
And and I just remember going, no! As this giant rubber band is coming through the air, and it's like, and it hit me calf, thigh, stomach, back, and I was like, it knocked the wind out of me. I was like, oh! And he ran to his house to kill him. And to this day, he reminds me, he's like, remember when I got you back for all those beatings you gave me with that? I go, yeah, you taught me with that.
Right?
The giant rubber, imagine 100-yard rubber band.
That's so funny to listen to you tell it, because it's a clear story, and it didn't happen like a week ago.
No, that did
In your
some
brain,
damage.
yeah.
That did some damage. So now you've got the new Theragun out.
Yeah.
Why'd you go new? The other one's amazing.
It is amazing.
This one's even better.
Yeah. Every time I made one, this is the 7th version, every time I made one, I saw immediately what needed to happen with the next one. So when I got to the G2, balance, ergonomics, the materials we used, a lot of those things were like ideal for me. But the biggest thing for us was most of the people look at something that we as humans, we see something and we compare it to something we've seen before. So it's just a natural way of our brain is. So every time someone saw the gun, it was always like, oh, it's a blender, or it's a blow dryer, or it looks like a drill or something. And so to be able to have an opportunity to build something that just looked different, so that people had an opportunity, for me it was an opportunity to be able to educate them a little bit, because I think they have expectations when they hear the noise and they see it look like a power tool. So now it doesn't necessarily look like a power tool, it kind of looks like a Dyson product or something to me, but it's the noise.
My favorite company in the world.
Quiet now?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Oh my god, that's a
Massive
massive.
with that. So it's got 2 speeds too. That's the first speed, or the second speed. But I'm still talking. You got
Is it plastic now?
No,
Something different?
no. I actually worked with a sound engineer from MIT. Like we went legit with this one.
I don't doubt it, looking around how many people are in there.
But the biggest part for me was to make it. I still wanted the same science, and all along the way, people say to me like I don't know this. That's loud. Really? I've been dealing with this since 2008. But every time there was a new iteration, people wanted to change the science to affect the sound. And I didn't want them to do that because there's something about our science. You talked about torque and amplitude and frequency. Those three things together, what really makes it work so well in the nervous system of the body and physiologically and neurologically. So all of that stuff I wanted to keep in the product, but anyone that we worked with that wanted to lower the noise wanted to change the science.
Right.
This guy at MIT was like, no way. We can put people on the moon. We can make this quiet.
Let me ask you this. It's pretty hard to do studies because of how many different, it's chaos pretty much with the amount of injury or what. So you can't put metrics on it. Like, well, this guy's injury, it fixed in half the time. I put it on and I'm like, that feels amazing. And I do little dumb things. Like I used to get like a thing in my wrist where I go, I feel like, and I didn't realize there's probably something, a little thing out of place that just, vibrate it, rub it, and I'll hit it with the gun. I'll be like, all right, I'm back and ready. I feel like it's my like panacea to every little injury in my body. I go, oh, there must be inflammation in there, or some kind of swelling, or something's out of place. That this will like whack it back into place.
Such a good way to say that.
Do you ever think about taking one of the tips and making it with the ability of making it hot or cold?
Yeah.
Like being able. Would that make a difference?
We tried, but the way that it works on the body, it causes the actual motion causes heat already.
Yeah.
And if I'm putting something cold on the end of that's causing heat to the body, it's going to melt the attachment and not really drive ice into your body. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
There's science behind why. There's a company that's tried to do it and it's not working. It looks great as a marketing thing, but that's part of what makes us different. I'm a physician, I'm a chiropractor. I've been doing this for 10 years.
Yeah.
I have anecdotal experience and we have science and studies that we've been involved in. So when I see these other guys and these competitors come out with products, I just know right away they don't have anyone on their staff or that works in their company that's helping them advise them from a physician's perspective.
Did you develop the science behind this or did you just research it?
I just researched it.
Yeah.
When I talk to people, vibration therapy has been around for centuries.
Yeah.
Back in the Greek days, early times, they literally would take a stick, put a stick on the person's body, on the part of the body that hurts, and then take another stick that has all the little nubs on it still, and they would rub that stick against the other stick and cause vibration into the body.
Interesting.
So they learned a long time ago that this works. All I realized is the amplitude and the frequency and how that works on the nervous system. When I did this in 2008, foam rolling was like barely out.
So what's the sweet spot? What's like the difference between the hyperized foam roller and what you guys have?
The high-priced foam roller has its amplitude is measured in nanometers.
Okay.
So the distance that the product moves up and down.
Yeah.
So a lot of times vibration is a horizontal movement,
Okay.
and good percussion therapy is a vertical movement.
And yours is massive, obviously. Because
Yes, it's a 16 millimeters. It's pretty big. But the foam rollers, they're vibrating at a really high frequency.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is there's not a lot of amplitude.
Right.
So the body can accommodate to that really quickly. Like we talked about your watch.
Yeah.
When you put your watch on this morning, for 2 or 3 seconds your body was aware of that, and then it recognized, oh, this happens all the time, it's not threatening, and it puts it away. That's called accommodation.
Yep.
The body can accommodate or ignore vibration, and it has a more difficult time accommodating to percussion.
Yeah.
So it works.
But there's a certain level that is like the magic note, is what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do
And
you
it's
guys?
somewhere between 38 and 40 hertz, with an amplitude of around 16 millimeters.
Why are you giving away your secret sauce?
Because it is what it is. You can measure it.
See, the thing is when I did the research on this stuff and I just looked at all the competitors in the market, like I just couldn't find enough information to see what the difference was between the Brookstone, the Tim Tam, this, someone taking a jigsaw and like drilling it into my back.
Yeah.
My massage therapist, she's been doing this for like 6 years with me. She has these rods with that she'll either hit the back of, or it looks almost like an egg beater that she'll like, almost like a rake and egg beater that she beats on my body all the way through.
Did you find her on Backpage?
No, September is a legend. I wish I found her on Backpage. She seems like one of those people. She's a genius.
Her name's September.
September. Honestly, like One
Like,
of
you
the
know, if back page and then using a month, like, I'm kind of worried about that.
Once I introduce you to September, I don't even know if you use the gun ever again. She's
So-
a magician.
You remember the old, like when you'd see in a movie somebody get a massage and they'd be like karate chopping.
She
Yeah.
does that with these weird rake things. And I just was wondering because
Rake things?
it looks almost like a rake.
Like a claw, kind of?
Yeah, like but it's so loose, it like bounces off your body. And it
It's
almost.
percussion therapy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering, I mean, like, what would be the difference between something like that and what you guys have provided?
It would be the frequency. She
Okay.
probably can't match the frequency of
Because it's
something
so
like
fast.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The body responds relative to the stimulus.
Okay.
I mean, and that's really kind of, we could get into that, but that's really what's happening. So when she's doing those things to you, it does have an effect. You obviously feel it. But I think the difference between Theragun and that is this effectiveness and efficiency is just much more sharp.
And even at the end of the day, if this wasn't effective and efficient, it still feels fucking amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
Like everyone you put it on, it's like, okay, now there, now here, now don't stop. And I'm always like, when you first came to the show, you had two on us at the same time. I'm like, I would rather pay money, and I go to massage every week I would rather go to the massage therapist that just sat there with the gun, rather than what she does a great job, but I think the gun does it a little bit better, so.
It does do it better. I went and had a massage about 2 months ago, and the guy did half the massage with a Theragun.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, I could have done that on my own.
It's like, I should be
It was pretty amazing. In New York, I'll never forget, he comes over, he whips out the table, gets out all the oils. I'm like, all right, we're going to get down into this thing. And then he just whips out a Theragun. He just starts blasting to my back and my butt with it.
You weren't complaining, though, were you?
No, it wasn't. But I was like, if this is what massage is becoming, like, I feel bad.
Do you do you have a certification process where you do?
Yeah.
So they can come in and get trained and it's like, oh, that's amazing.
I want to mention something though. I have to do this because of my role at the company. Like, I can't let this go by. There's nothing will ever replace the hands of a good massage therapist. You just can't. There's something physiologically that happens when someone's working on your tissue and flushing out that stuff. This doesn't replace a massage therapist, but it's easy to compare it to because that's what makes you feel so good for a massage therapist. But I don't know about some of yours.
Tell that to September.
Yeah.
It's more of the conversation that makes it really special.
But there's a lot of massage therapists. I'm actually going to go teach a massage therapy school in March. But it's what this does for a massage therapist is gives them longevity. Now they're not cranking on their wrists, on their bodies. Can you imagine doing two?
I
really
about that all the time.
10. Like
When they do like 8 hours, 8 a day, and I'm like, how do you? After they do one massage, I want to apologize. And like,
Seriously.
I'm sorry that you have to do this. I feel like you're not getting paid enough for
I
this.
could do that like once a month, I think, and then recover for 29 days.
Out of curiosity, what's the next frontier of this stuff? Is it to make the technology more available to people, or is it to make the technology better than it already is? Like, have you
A little bit of both.
Have you improved upon one? I mean, I'm sure 1.0, which was you started in 2008, is very different from whatever this is.
100%.
There's a massive difference from this and the last version.
Well, I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
Massive.
I get it looks sweet. I love the Dyson vacuum, and I like this. This is a good look. Cheap.
What were you gonna say?
No, I was just go on.
To answer your question, technology changes every year.
Sure.
So the things that I had available to me on G3 weren't available to me when I was making the G2 Pro. So that's another thing that's as doing what I do at the company is I'm always looking for ways to implement some new technology into this product. Like, imagine if it was Bluetooth, or if it gave you prompts like your toothbrush or something like that.
Sounds like the iPhone. I don't know if there's any difference between the iPhone 7 and the iPhone 10, but I spent $1,000 on it.
You're our perfect client, right?
I'll tell you why this is better than an iPhone, because it feels like the battery lasts longer than an iPhone. I'm amazed at how long, with how much power is in it, that the battery lasts. And then you've got the backup that charges in enough time that when you run out of this battery, that one's fully charged. So it's a perfect.
How much time are you using this thing?
I use it every single day.
Have you seen the new batteries on this one?
No.
Check this out.
Oh, it's like a gun cartridge.
Isn't that cool?
That looks just like it. Like you're.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll get that through.
Cause
Go for it.
Yeah, you will. I've done it.
Let me feel it because it looks like it's lighter too.
It's actually about a third of a pound heavier than the G2 Pro.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, we just had to insulate that front
Maybe
side.
it's just you're a lot more muscular and you were like,
Throwing it around.
yeah, throwing it around like, ugh.
I liked your question though, and I wanted to kind of address that a little bit. As a company, we're always looking to innovate. We're always trying to make something that's available to like people that go to Soho, and the rest of us that don't.
Yeah.
So we want to be able to take this technology and create it so that it's affordable to your mom, my mom, the people that don't perform athletics for money.
Yeah.
So that's what we're working on constantly. I mean, it's something I spend a lot of my time on. But as a whole, I think what's going to happen, you know, we started this, and you see how many competitors there are now, and people trying to knock us off, and they're actually combining names with other. It's really weird what's happening, which to me is fine because it's raising the expectations of our understanding of our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can have more ownership in your body, what's wrong with that? You know, there's a lot of therapists and body workers in the world that are frustrated that we're pitching this in their way, the way they see it. But to me, I'm like, that's our job. As a chiropractor, when you come in to see me, I want to get you to where you don't keep coming to see me. Right? So like, I don't want to see you the rest of your life. We're friends, let's check it out. Like
That's the evolution of a good society.
yeah.
Like if you can eliminate your job because it's good for society, you should evolve with society. And then that whole concept of like, well, we'll be out of the job. Well, that's a good thing. Then you
Right.
should, like, it's like coal miners. Well, we're not going to have our coal mine. Well, that's good. Then you go
We've
work
evolved.
at a solar company. You know, like you retrain and you learn something else. So I get that, and I think it's the price point in the
Same.
old one. Same thing.
Same thing.
I thought you brought it down. I saw it like at
Oh,
special.
the G2 Pro, the one that you have?
Yeah.
We did drop that for our Christmas sale.
Okay, that's what it was.
And whatever we have left in inventory, it's probably the same price. There's some of these things I don't know. I don't know, I just work here.
Were you just in New York?
Yeah.
He's
Did you
everywhere.
meet? You must have met Evan.
Yeah.
Yeah, all those are all my boys from New
Yeah.
York. Angelo. Angelo Granzieri. He's a really hairy, jacked Italian man.
I don't remember him. Do you remember that
I
guy?
could show a picture of him and a bunch of other of these
Why they were all using one?
all fitness models all carrying around.
Evan just posted. Did you see Evan's
Yeah, I
post?
love that.
Yeah, he just got it.
I saw him post a picture. It looks like he's in the background with a bunch of truck drivers, but it's all my friends.
He's
Yeah.
a stud. I
He's
like
a
Evan a
freaking
lot. Evan was one of the very first trainers I met in LA.
Okay.
Yeah,
He's in New York
he's
City
a
full
good
time
dude.
now.
I'm sorry, New York.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hey, have you ever tried these in senior markets?
You know what I was gonna say a minute ago? I joke all the time. If I walked in with 5 people in an old folks home and each one of them had a Theragun,
Yeah.
I would be the only one that left because those other 5 would be there and they'd have full-time jobs.
Yeah.
This thing works everywhere, and that's a blessing and a curse. We can't keep up with everything. Like we just can't. So you say you see what's going on here. We had the guy you guys met, Jeff, that just
Yeah.
walked out. There's opportunities in military we didn't even know about.
Oh yeah.
So
That's
I
what
mean,
Myopucks does a lot with the military. They do the downrange guys and give them all Myopucks and leopard claws so that the guys that are out in the field can
Yeah, they
take
get
care
some
of
therapy.
themselves because
Yeah.
they're always getting hurt. No one realizes how much those guys get hurt.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
And we were just having a conversation about it. You obviously compete, work out, so you're probably more acutely aware of your body awareness, the pain you're experiencing, maybe some like decreased range of motion. You would know because of what you do. The average person doesn't. They don't get that. And a military guy, they're way more than you because of what they have to do every single day. So they're acutely aware of their spatial awareness, where their injuries are, where their pain is, but it's mind over matter a lot of times for those guys because they're just cranking through weeks of drills.
Yeah. And then it's going to cost the government money in the long run because they're going to end up in the, VA with all these injuries. So
Amanda's sitting here. Her grandma lives in Toronto, Canada, and she was out visiting for Christmas, and she took the gun with her, and she kept hearing it go off in their family house. A bunch of people there. It's Christmas. She kept hearing it go. She's like, "Where is that? Where is that?" And it's her. Was she 90? 85-year-old grandma, just hitting her shoulders, hitting her legs, turns it off, sets it down, plays the game for a minute, turns around, does the same thing, just keeps it.
My father-in-law is a former NFL football player, and he has 2 artificial hips, ankle surgeries, knee surgeries, shoulder surgeries, and when he comes to my house, it's like 8 hours a day. And I'm like, he's either doing some weird stuff with my mother-in-law or. But more than just what you've done therapy-wise for helping people, you're like kind of like an internet sensation too, because you guys are one of those companies that really got on the internet, got on Facebook, got on social media, and in 2 ways. I mean, you were advertising like crazy, which made everybody aware of it, but you also got in with all the influencers, all the pro athletes, all the idiots like Hunter that are
Sounds like
constantly
Hunter
on.
doesn't have one though.
Yeah.
I
Oh.
think we can reference Hunter in this conversation.
He's so salty about that too.
No.
Yes.
Listen, I'll shoot it straight out. I called your guys' company and I said, hey, listen, what's the difference between you and any of the competitors? And they're like, and I was like, just listen, I'm right here with a card, I'll buy it. Put me on the phone with somebody who knows, and they just couldn't. So
Really?
Yeah, no
We'll
one put me on
contact
touch.
customer service.
and then
we'll have a chat with
And
them.
then I gave them my number, and they never had anybody call me back.
Now I believe there's
Listen,
probably another side of that story where
he
he
talked shit to
called
me,
out.
and I
He's
was
like, I'm a television star, and you guys should
Yeah,
send me
right.
that."
No.
Yeah,
Listen,
and the customer service like, this never happens.
No.
Every 10 minutes.
I spend thousands of dollars every single year on trainers, thousands of dollars on massage, and then even more on top of that for equipment. You know, I buy the Normatec recovery boots. I buy a percussion instrument similar to yours. I buy.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's that guy.
I went on. Listen, I went on and I said, I went to a bunch of different people, and I said,
Why did you,
tell me.
don't tell me what it is, but why did you choose that one?
Cost. And
Exactly.
listen, cost. Hold on a second.
Ass.
But
Look at Malibu and cost?
Let me, if you would have put me on, and
I know why you asked if one's cold or hot. I'm not stupid.
No. I didn't know about any product. I didn't know about any product that competes with that. I swear. But I wonder why a massage therapist would use a hot stone over just their hands. And I asked why you guys want to do the same thing. I don't know of any competitor that does it. But the reason why I called him, and of course, within like a couple weeks of me buying it, of course you were on their podcast. And I said, I called that fucking company and nobody would give me any information why it didn't work. He's
That
like,
fucking company. That's our new mantra. Therapist. That fucking company.
and he goes, you fucker, you're just upset because they wouldn't give you one. He's like, I've got mine on my back right now. I'm like, fuck off. Yeah. I'm tired of your shit.
Kind of true though.
I thought to myself, I was like, dude, I don't want to go in that office because I'm literally going to have this conversation with him and I don't want to insult a man in his own home. Because I was telling
Yeah,
listen,
you did.
it was no intent on insulting you.
not to.
I literally sat here the whole time.
Do not come in here with me if you're gonna do that.
It was no intention. I just
There's
sat
a
here and I bit
picture
my
and
tongue and I was like, don't
sunglasses.
say anything, Hunter.
You have to say something. I would like.
I just kept on just slowly asking questions. The same questions that I planned on asking whoever would be on the other side of the phone.
Were you okay with my answers?
Yeah, of course. But here's the thing, like I literally couldn't find information between, maybe it's better now, but I couldn't find any difference. I was like, what's the difference between
I saw a good review on the internet because people, when we had you on the show, there were a lot of people talking, and I think a lot of people were really into it. And CrossFitters are psychopaths about their rehab and their nutrition. And there's not a crazier group of people when it comes to that. They're all obsessive compulsive. So I got these YouTube videos where guys sent me a review of your product against something else, and it was like, oh, this one does this, this, and this, but it was clearly, by the end, the guy was like, clearly this is a far superior one. Like, you're not going to get, and as you said, the percussion and the speed that you're going to get from the Theragun with the other one.
So I appreciate you doing this because now I can talk specifically to some of these things. The number one thing you would notice between ours and someone else's is ergonomics. If you take a power tool is you can't hold a power tool with one finger like this.
Sure.
You can't hold any of our competitors like this. There's a part of our brain that is related to the level of innervation, and our hands have more nerves in them than anything else in our body. Our hands and our mouth. And if you think about the way we're created, if I close my eyes and I reached out and I picked something up, I need to know what that is.
Yeah.
Is it a pen? Is it fire? So the way we were made, our hands are our brain's eyes. And I know that as a chiropractor. So the way I created this thing is this does the work. So I'm literally just letting it float on you.
Sure.
You can't use other products that same way. You either have to grip harder because there's no ergonomics. So the ability to be flexible comes from you, not the product.
Coming from a man who's 230 pounds of muscle, holding something that weighs less than 5 pounds.
Were you talking about yourself?
No,
I didn't know that much.
you. But my point is, listen, the reason is I have books like this all over my house where I'm just constantly trying to do research.
But
Yeah, no, they're just there to just stack.
Plastic
You know, it
stuff.
doesn't matter. You know, I basically. So the reason why I will constantly call and I'll sit down in this room, microphone on or off, and just constantly talk about these things. You know, I can basically take this iPhone right here and rub it on top of my quad like this with some lotion, and I could flush out some things.
Totally.
Now I could use your instrument, which is much more technologically advanced and better at doing that.
Right.
Now, the difference between my finger, my iPhone, a competitor that's a little bit cheaper than yours, and then yours, every single time you bump up, it has a little bit more opportunity and advancements in it that could do a better job at what I was supposed to be doing. Now, somebody like myself, let's say I'm a guy who's 20 years old and I just got into doing CrossFit, tennis, roller derby, whatever it is, we can't afford such and such an instrument. So I just was like, I would like to know the difference between a top-notch product and a product that's a little bit less expensive, or just using my fingers. And
but isn't it just like anything? You pay for what you get.
you do pay for what you get. And it was a curiosity in the way that I was interested. Now I'm sitting across from the man who invented it, and I just slyly sat here and just kept on asking questions that I plan on asking on the phone from whoever.
Service.
Yes, I did. And listen, no bad intentions. I excited to be sitting here, and now I learned, because at the time I was like, I asked Eddie. Eddie couldn't. This thing's just amazing. And I was like, Eddie, that's not telling me anything.
You know, honestly, what it, I was in, I was somewhere and I needed some, and I went to Home Depot and bought gloves forever. I was sitting there and I was looking at, and I was like, and I put those on. They weren't my. I put them on. It was like, who's this made for?
Yeah.
So then down the line, and I found a pair of those or something. My hands fit right in there. I went through that process. Took this and compared it to them in your hands.
Mm-hmm.
You see the difference. There are specific areas in this right there.
Mm-hmm.
I spent a lot on that little spot. You wouldn't think, but if you use this for, you'd be like, oh my god, I realized why. The top material, this a little bit different. It's because of the parts that touches. A lot of little things.
Hunter's holding.
He puts the phone down and
Just got a little.
This is nice.
there's what drives me to make this is it has to be something that amplifies the information that I'm getting from my body or from someone else. A lot of the other products out there are power tool, and it impedes information.
Yeah.
World the X Games. I asked them last weekend. And it's she the ESPN. I've known her for years, and I could tell she, and you know, I hope so. Hey, how you doing? And I could tell she'd been so bad today. The fever was bad. The cold doesn't make it. And I said, you know, I have experience working with people that have Crohn's disease. I walked in there. I closed my eyes. I put my hand on her stomach, and I ran my hand along her stomach. Those other products.
Like trying to work on the line?
Yes. What I was doing was following her rib cage. So knuckle like this. This was guiding her rib cage. I had my eyes closed and I was just feeling what's happening. I wasn't able to do that because I have to.
Your mic's getting a little static right now. Fine now.
Better?
Yeah, much better.
It's little subtle differences. You would see the difference. I mean, I could list these names right now because of that. You see their product once or twice, it's Spartan Race, and you're just like, amazing. But if it becomes what you're doing, you do notice the difference. And I'm sharing that with you, hundreds of people that tell us that difference. I bought the other one. feedback from your own body. I don't want to fatigue. Sit there and do this for 8, 10 whole body, and you know reverberations back, and you should be able to feel quality. You can feel a knot, kind of fascia release.
I had Buddy Morris on the show and Ryan Flaherty. Both of them had mentioned how they're guys. They're like, just have their own, and they're, you know, and these guys are professional. Have to take constantly because we talked about the beatings players take, and how their recovery has to be for Sunday, and what they. Yeah, these guys were all. It's funny. I saw Brian on Instagram's traveling with it. Like I travel with mine. It's like a gun case. I feel like sometimes because they're a gun that people probably see me going through the. Is this guy allowed to travel?
Seriously, I'm pulling. It look like something like it says Theragon. People, are you taking that on the airplane?
Travels with a kettlebell and a bowling.
Shut up.
Yeah. Matt Kempson, if you're listening, he's a mechanic. He's an engineer, and he goes around these humongous turbines that are used, you know, basically like drilling, you know, any kind of metal piece that you want. You guys use it for years. He goes around the country, and middle of nowhere in some town, there's no. Just gotta get jacked. So around the bowling ball.
Who knew?
What is it? Pounder?
Yeah, dude. If you want to get, you're gonna have to make sacrifices.
A bag, when you pack a bag at the airport, if it's over,
You're paying.
Carry on.
that's,
Definitely Instagram.
you could knock out a.
Kempson send you guys a picture. It's worth it. If I was any one workout device, it'd be either resistance band tubing or TRX. Best things you can do to get in shape.
Probably a line in China. The same thing.
Yeah.
A resistance is amazing. I can't. You can actually do with a
Have you
resistance.
guys? There's called it's the Hilton, I think they call it Feet to Fitness. In your room, they're literally put in your room.
Great.
Bands, TRX, and like you can get the whole thing in the morning instead of having to go find it.
That's
If you're
amazing.
spending so much money now on the fitness, this one trainer. So a ton of money, and they're having like these and have facilities and programs for at their gym, like
Because it's healthy, and they've got to stop that. And this gym, you know, town, and I travel every. I'll go to a town. Where can I get healthy food? There's a gym that I can go to, and I'm like, take an Uber across town. Gym.
Yeah.
Which is gonna get there. Then they're gonna give $20. Then $20. Now, you know, $80 each day. That
That's
I'm there for.
becoming so prevalent.
Yeah.
As this goes about how this industry is the way people see things. Is that wrong?
Yeah.
The
It's,
body. Yeah. People are like that. Like, so you want to be able to have right food.
yeah.
Like a good gym, and then hotel. It's like you said. That's where I'm staying. How close is it? New York's a different. Literally on every
Yeah.
corner.
To notice, and I'm gonna use more of the hotel gym than Uber and go, because if they've got a row, some dumbbells, you can 1,000 different work. Then get stuck, you know, doing, you know, when they had like the universal machine, the one machine that has like, the lat bar, the worst thing ever.
those things.
They're still in
Myself a hernia, and I was
doing which.
machine that had like leg over here, row over here, legs out to 250. Sort of snap right. I'm like,
Oh.
yeah. Still love them.
Importantly, have you developed?
What is the idea? Any in on this?
I have 2 different prototypes that we
I have a friend that's done it, and trainer Dylan, who's on the nutritionist, dummy.
send me.
I'll tell you. I don't want to have somebody else running away with this. No, but it's just an improvement for an he was like, yeah, what are your name? And you do this. And he explains it, why he do it. And when he said it, oh, that's
When you sent me that,
yeah.
we get all the time. When you sent me that, called Jaime, who our in-house engineer, start working on this.
Yeah, because it's
And you know, so,
That's awesome.
they build
Best strength equipment. Better than Rogue. They outfit all training so good.
sick. It's a small family-owned South Carolina. They're amazing. Those guys, I'm building me prototypes
oh great.
because they know racks.
Yeah.
Exactly how to.
I don't know if I say this on the because maybe you want to beat
Less.
that's how the world is.
Yeah. I'll show you.
Yeah, we'll tell you off the air. It's thanks. Level with this thing. I would spend more than 2 hours.
We're gonna. You think I'm kidding? It's so awesome.
The only thing, which I had a sandwich named after me, and the restaurant went out of business. I was
tagging.
I go, hey, like famous Pittsburghers, and name sandwich. I said, what do I have to do? If I eat 1,000, come in here and you eat 100, putting your name on it. And I was like,
Did it?
so I went, and he's like, all right. He's like, you're getting
100 at one time.
literally like 2 weeks later. I want my name thing, so
I'll give it to you. Yeah.
What else? Oh, I want to get into the. You guys mastered internet marketing.
Yeah. I don't.
How did you guys figure this? I sit down with companies all the time. They say they want to, and I was like, listen, you are going to spend on the project, but if you do it with this kind of game, it's just dead in the water. Like
Yeah.
next, all these other things in a competing market. Like, do you go to somebody and yourself spend more money on marketing than innovating? Like, strategy. Out of nowhere, you're getting product
You
in the market.
blasted. It was like you were all over the internet. You know, it was one of those things. It wasn't a tried like word of mouth where people were like, it's great. It was just you on the internet. And I saw it. I gotta try this thing. It wasn't so and so. I was like, this is like it works.
Well, if you guys in 2008, Instagram was what it is now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so much of and I think it was just right. So the fact that when I did, I was working up in Hollywood. I was having access to these athletes. Guys, I'm like seriously, part of the story of Theragun is I was resistant to athletes because I thought this was for campaign. As a chiropractor, I was using it.
Mm-hmm.
So I had Terrell Pryor, but the day that they'd come in this gym, take the stairs, and I'm like, what are you guys doing? I'd be mad at them, like, don't doing that. But I was one day, I'm standing there, and they're using it through their they're doing it, and I'm using it, and I'm like, these guys know. And then I would ask them, why are you using it before you do ball? I get more explosive. So I realized if I'm smart, I can do the same thing. I can use to get it out so people recognize. Then I can deliver a message.
Athletes you guys got?
We have athletes.
Well, you see posters of Matt Frazier everywhere.
Matt Frazier's one that we have a 2-year deal. Antonio Brown is like one of our one of the marathon.
Because he doesn't like to play.
You'd be in trouble.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Why? It's probably, but what I'm looking for from them is, I hate the word. I'm starting to use pure, but it's more pure. Mm-hmm. So it's put this on your. It's more subtle. When a lot of the have this, and I can name some they would ask me, like, or their manager say, I don't want anything. I'm in this for the long term. If you like this, I'm gonna know. I don't need to tell you to post.
It's so true.
But at the time, I really people are watching them. They're not going to my practice and watching me 62-year-old later. I don't care about that. Joy Bell, the Detroit Lions, he's using this. Suddenly, attention to that, huh? Lions, yeah.
I wondered about, because I've professional athletes that like secretive. Because like I don't want everyone else to know my advantage.
A couple of these guys. Yeah, Matt does. Yeah, and special ways. There's time that really gives him the opportunity. And a lot of those things are understanding of what this is. But that thing, it just, he had to get it out to people so that people this does. And at the time, the internet was just one of the ways to use it. And the way the algorithms were in 2015, 16, they were than they were now. So it was easier to target than it even is now. Through that growth, the algorithms, we just had the right up. It was timing.
That's amazing. It did. People are trying to lightning in a bottle, and it didn't happen.
No,
It's collapse and
No, I think it's gonna grow.
I'm not saying entirely, but I'm watching the internet. It's getting worse. Engagement, do anything, and I feeds are getting worse. Advertisements is going in. I'm getting advertisements every one of for an advertisement.
But the advertisements are good products. Like, I want this.
You guys know your microphone. What's that?
You look at it and you're like, man, I like that. Touch it because then I'm gonna get. But that like it does. One of
Yeah.
So it's that I think that's one of the biggest things as well. If we had a killer Instagram marketing program and this didn't work, we wouldn't be where we're at.
So is your plans? I mean, are you gonna like go public and make this thing? Like,
No, people. My business partner we had another meeting, and he said one of the reasons that attracted us together is he asked me, "What do you want to do?" And he was taking a response because most entrepreneurs that go to him, because he's a wealthy person that kind of invests in startups and stuff. He said, "What I liked what you said, and what I said was, I want every person on this earth to have a therapy."
That's
I didn't say, and I didn't hear until today. He just said this literally. He said he didn't say, "I want to make $1 million and sell out. I want to do this. I want to go public," because that wasn't where my focus is. If people experience this, that's good enough for me. We all want money, of course.
Right.
Can't have fulfilled life necessarily, but that is coming. But that's not where my focus is. That's not where our focus is as a company. So no, I don't want to go public.
no.
I mean, I'm sure there's been offers. My
But I
business
mean, by
partner
going
keeps that
public
away
wouldn't it give you a chance to have everyone in the world having one?
from me. I think there will be a time that happens, but we're working on, and we still have work to do.
Yeah. Well, it is amazing. I don't want to take any time because I always knew it
That was a
was
big
business.
This is like therapy. I love this.
But coming on here and coming in your office, I mean, this is. I've been a million places. This is mind blowing. You
I
are
love
like.
This is a ridiculous office. It's just like I would just take naps in here.
I was
I
just
wouldn't get
thinking.
any work done.
I was just thinking that I'm here at auditions all the time. I'm just gonna stop by and
Yeah.
go in the kitchen. We got a weight room there.
Yeah.
Can we play ping pong? Do you want to play ping
There's
pong?
no ping pong table.
I thought
Just
you said there was a ping
just
pong.
ping pong paddles.
No, there's that thing that they have, that table. They
Yeah.
made that to be the size of a ping pong table. So if you're sitting here at the right time, you'll hear the ball going back.
I'm gonna film some stuff. We'll put it up on our Facebook page. And you can always find them. I guess it's theragun.com.
Theragun.com. One of the things you kept mentioning was the price.
Yeah.
We have a payment plan. So if you think about what you pay to get a massage or what you pay to
That's brilliant.
like buy coffee every week, you can pay for this. So we've tried to make it as accessible and available to as many people as we can. Our main goal is to educate people on what it does. That's really what it is. we've got to meet that education with a killer product, but there's got to be some education on what it does.
So when
Have you guys started
education,
that program, education program?
What's that?
Have you guys made like education side of it?
Yeah, we have an app and everything. It's amazing.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
I've never gone down that road. I'm going rogue on my whole body. I'm just like anywhere I feel a tweak, I'm like, I got
And
it.
there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Really, there isn't.
Yeah.
I mean, and if you use it like you, after a while, it's just instinctive. I skied in Aspen. I haven't skied for many years.
You're
My
just
son, listen, I'm serious. My son was with me. I know you guys probably got to wrap this up, but this is a cool
No,
story.
no, it's fine. I
My son-
thought you had a meeting or something. so I
No,
wanted-
you kidding? No one knows where I'm at right now. My son was with me, and we busted down those hills. I mean, my son was challenging to see if I could keep up with him, and I was skiing hard, and I haven't skied hard for a long time. I'm telling you, the reason I went all out is I knew that I had this, and I knew I wasn't going to be sore. Got on the airplane Monday morning, first thing from Aspen, sitting in this tiny little jet that sucked. But I'm sore. I'm still not sore. So if you use it right, use it.
Right here, your
Oh,
adductors.
done nonstop, dude.
God.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, you spend one day skiing and right here.
Yeah.
because The next day you're like, oh, I didn't know. I don't use
Dude,
it.
you should outfit Dojo Boom on these things. Every time he's gonna go to Dojo Boom, it's like a trampoline, American Ninja Warrior Park up in Thousand Oaks. Every time I leave there, I'm drenched in sweat. I'm so fucking sore.
You guys know
I had a time of my life, but it's just
there's a couple, Austin and Julianne, that do the backflips and all that stuff on Instagram.
Mhm.
They go to those and they love this.
Yeah, it's as soon as you get down there, your calves, it's a full hour workout. I take my daughter; she loves to play on it, and I'm gonna have Kevin Bull on the show, who is the owner.
Oh,
Dude's
that's
a
smart.
beast.
Yeah, he is a beast. He won American Ninja Warrior, and I think with his prize money, opened like a trampoline park, Ninja Warrior.
Oh, cool.
It's out in Thousand Oaks, and it's
Craziest workout of your life.
ridiculous. It's rock.
Does he have workouts, or you just go in there and
No,
kind of
it's
free for
it's
all?
exhausting. There's
I
so
asked
many
him,
things to do.
I went there for my daughter's birthday party, and I introduced myself to the owner, and I said, "Hey, I'm friends with Hunter McIntyre," and he went, "Oh." And he said,
Yeah.
I had to invite all my friends over, and we're just
He
like
goes-
roll through a China shop.
That's what he said.
He goes, "As hard as we can."
He said he comes in here and they do some weird stuff.
We go as hard as we can. And we go into the dodgeball room, just those little kids, and I look them in the eyes, and I'm like, let's throw down. It's like 15 kids versus me, and there's no holding back. I like warm up my shoulder and I'm freaking taking people out. It's no big deal. I gotta get in shape. I made money just like they did.
Nothing personal. I'm gonna take your head off because I gotta get in shape.
Yeah, he pushes little kids out of the way so he can have the swing out over the foam pit.
But let me tell you, dude, like when you weigh 50 pounds and you land the wrong way on a trampoline, it does not hurt. When you weigh 200 plus pounds, you land the wrong way, it wrecks you.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you right now, like I'm so inflamed after using one of those things, like elbows, knees, and calves.
Who needs it the most? Pro football? I mean, everybody needs it, but who are you
Senior
seeing?
citizens, dude.
No, I would guess pro football or extreme athletes, extreme sports. Those I would think are the most
Hockey
damaged.
I was gonna say hockey.
Hockey's most
Yeah,
damaged.
hockey's one of the most brutal sports and what they put the demand on their body. If you think about what they have to do, the dynamics in their kinetic chain, the way it has to move on the ice,
Right.
Quads, calves, and lower back.
everything, and even the shoulders, and like they have a push-off skate, and they have the way they hold their stick. It's one direction. There's a lot of different things.
Tennis
I don't
too.
know. Tennis,
Really?
Ironman, like triathletes, like endurance athletes. Those guys are insane on their bodies. I really, it's.
Yeah, I just heard someone talking on Rogan. He was a cyclist, and he was saying that they put in all those miles, and then endurance is good in some ways for them for longevity, but being on a bike for so long in their life, they can't stand up.
Yeah, it's hard.
Their back,
Their hip flexors get so short they can't stand
Yeah.
up. I worked on a kid. This just came to my mind. I worked on a kid in London who is on the British fence. An athlete. He's an impaired athlete. What do they call it?
Para-athlete or whatever.
No, it's adaptive athlete.
Woo!
Sorry. Nice.
5 points.
Nice.
That's
You
right.
get the reward. This kid has a real issue with his body, and he fences. So he has to sit in a wheelchair, and he's fencing in a wheelchair.
Oh wow.
Can you imagine